What's going on, party people? Just wanted to give you a quick build breakdown. Had some questions, so just gonna make a longer video about it. But part of me is like, bring it down lower, but also part of me is like, do I need to? So, Axial, SCX24, GX40 or 470. I got this because this is a vehicle I'm actually about to buy. And I think it would be dope to have a miniature size version of my actual truck. And as you can see, I did a lot of Frankensteining. I like that. Frankensteingineering. Did a lot of Frankensteingineering on this thing. So, first thing I did was, of course, upgraded shocks, long suspension travel. And I will get to that part in just a moment. So, long suspension travel. Got that droop. After that, I upgraded my engine. Of course, Fat Viper, really smooth, plenty of power, because I wanted to also attach a trailer using this hitch, because I'm gonna get the trailer, then I'm gonna finish building this, and this gonna be on the trailer, getting pulled by this until I'm ready to crawl, and then I'll pull this off the trailer. Yeah, I'm a nerd, I don't care. So with the Fat Viper, I needed the brushless ESC, but I didn't have a transmitter, or I did have a transmitter receiver, but it's the stock one. So if you can see right in there, that little black box that everything is sitting on top of is the stock transmitter receiver and brushed ESC. So with the brushless ESC, I basically am not using the ESC that's in the stock 2-in-1 transmitter receiver ESC. But I still use it as a transmitter receiver. So you run the ESC, has a wire, you run it into the throttle port into your stock ESC. And then you connect your battery to the ESC. So you'll have that little yellow tab. You do need a adapter that will go from that yellow tab to this white piece that connects to the batteries. Can you tune it? I don't know. Haven't tuned it yet. Haven't tried to really. Haven't had a need to tune it. I don't really know what tuning does, but with it being like this is great, and it's amazing, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And I don't think it needs a tune, but somebody might say something otherwise or tell me why a tune makes sense. So if you know why a tune makes sense in these, then let me know, because then if I can get better performance out of it, I'll tune it. But as of right now, it runs great. If you check out my Instagram and my TikToks, you can see it has some pretty nice capabilities, some good articulation, good traction. Yes, it's heavy. I will get into that in a moment. But I don't know, it's just really nice. So after the motor, ESC, plug that in, plug the ESC into the throttle port, and pretty much good to go at that point. After that, you can also see, like, in there, I trimmed the body, or I trimmed that tray. Let's see if I can find a different one. So the tray, this is from a long wheelbase Rubicon Jeep, I believe. But with the shorter wheelbase, this tray stretches all the way across. So it basically would go from back there holding the ESC transmitter receiver all the way across to up here. And so I cut the front part of the bracket off, because what I do is I'll use that front part of the bracket, I flipped it up, and then got some grooves in it to kind of hold my wires in place up and out the way so it's not rubbing up against my motor. And then flipping it up, because it has those little tabs at the bottom, those tabs kind of hold it in place. But also I have, some people call it limiting straps, but I'm more trying to use it as a reverse shock kind of deal. So where limited straps is more of a hard, got them in here somewhere. And I'm not gonna say hard like plastic, but it's not elastic. So these are limited straps. These will, as soon as your goes, it'll stop it before it bottoms out, but it stops it. It doesn't, it's not elastic. So it's not gonna pull it back up for you. And the reason I put those rubber bands on there is so that when I'm going uphill, these rubber bands pull the body to the tires, or pull the tires to the body. So it's less likely to be pushed up and then fall back. That's why I took the springs out, because I didn't want it to be pushed up. But aside from being pushed up, what happens is, because the weight isn't really over the tires will still be on the ground, but the body will want to pull back like that. So I added the rubber bands. You can kind of see it. It works a little bit. It works better with the body pulling down on the tires than the tires pulling back up to the body. But you can see it brings it back down, and it brings it down nicely. So that just helps keep that nose down when I'm at an angle, rather than doing like that and then flipping back. It'll just kind of hold that nose down so you can get a little bit more of an aggressive angle out of it. So that's why I did that. Now in the back, the shock mount used to be right up here on top, and I did the rubber band trick, same thing on the back, to kind of give me that same thing, because I wanted to pull the body down, but I wanted to also keep my travel. So the rubber bands is strong enough to pull the body back to the wheels, but it's not strong enough to just suck the wheels up to the body. So I still bottom out. That's still bottom. I still get my flex, my articulation that I want, but it just pulls the body down. So with the shocks, they were mounted up here, and what that did is it kind of put my wheels pretty high and in the wheel. And of course, hard body, didn't want to cut the body. I like the look, I want to keep it natural. So it went too deep in the wheel, because these are also telescopic shocks, so they compress a little further than the stock ones. So the stock mounts up top, they work decent. The stock mounts at the bottom, they put the wheel a little further away than I like. So when I put the long travel shocks on, at first I had them mounted up here, but the wheel again was too up, rubbing places I didn't like. So I moved it kind of in between those 2 points, so that I still have that angle. So when I'm crawling, the weight is being pushed directly down into the shock, rather than being pushed down with gravity, but then the shock is facing this way and pushing out. And so that way, the back wheels is pushing the body up, rather than trying to crawl under and away from the body. So that shock position really works for me as well. Now when it comes to the front, I tried to go down lower, but the problem is, this Lexus GX, it has the similar body style of or I think it's the same frame and platform as the Deadbolt. Now the Deadbolt has this tiny little drive shaft in here. Same thing with this GX, of course. But this tiny drive shaft, there's not a lot of meat. You can see where that spline starts, which is literally right at the top of that coupling. And then you can see where the coupling ends. And that's as far, that's all the drive shaft I got on the front. So if I were to go lower than that, drive shaft is binding, popping out, problems I don't want to have. But I want the travel, as much travel as I can get. But I didn't want limiting straps. I didn't want that. So what I did was I got these little spacers, and they come with a kit. It's a bunch of different sizes. So I got these little spacers. What those spacers did is they stopped the tire from going too far. Because if it did go too far, it's gonna eat at the bumper, gonna pull itself down, especially when I'm turning or going forward. It'll catch. The tread will pull the bumper down, and then like it's jammed. Possibility to break a axle or differential or something. So put those stoppers in there to give the tires the clearance that it needs to be able to turn, not rub, not get caught. Like even there, yes, it's close, really close, but it's not catching, and that's perfect. It's not catching, and that's what I wanted. What else? Everybody keep telling me to take these off, but like I said, I want to keep it a realistic build, and so I'll probably end up taking them off, spray painting them, and then like sanding them down to make it look kind of worn and older. Let's see. So after the shocks, that was fun. After the shocks, I got battery packs. At first, I put the battery packs on top, but it made it top heavy. So of course, on the hill, hard to climb. When it gets on its side, easy to roll over, because these are heavy battery packs, and I put it up here. So now, I got 2 battery packs, so I can hit the trail. It's not really a competition build, but it's a capable build. And so if I hit the trail, me and my homie go dirt biking or something, battery, I literally just need the truck and the controller. Each one of these packs will run for like 5, 6, maybe 7 hours, depending on how hard you're going. And that's for each pack. So hit the trails, bro, I really don't have to charge a battery all day. And they're not ran in series or parallel or nothing like that. It's literally like 2 fuel tanks. I plug in one, that one dies, switch it to the other one. And it adds weight down low. Extremely capable build. Oh yeah, I forgot to say I upgraded the rims and tires. So don't remember what rims, I think it was Hot Racing, but they have these brass weight. The wheel itself is already heavy, but then you add these brass weights to it. And that each one of those brass weights is about another gram added. The whole rim itself is probably around like 40 grams, not including the tire. The tires that I got are the J Concepts. Megalithic 4081s. And the tread on these is really nice. It's pretty soft. The foams are I haven't trimmed the walls or shaved the edges or anything like that. The tire is already pretty round. The tread comes on the sidewall, so you even get grip there. And they're small. They're not crawler tires. They're good on a hard body. They don't go too big. You don't have to do a lot of trimming. You might just have to adjust your suspension placement so that your wheel sits in the right area. But you don't really need to do a lot of body trimming. Only trims I did do, you could barely see it too, and that's the goal. I did a little bit of trimming there, just so that rear wheel, when it's has that weight on it, it's not gonna catch. When it's also flexing, it's not gonna catch. And I like how it tucks in there too. That's why I don't put no spacers on it. I like how that tucks in pretty perfectly. So yeah, I'm not doing any wider axles, no spacers, no nothing like that. Same thing on the front. It tucks in really nice, to where I don't have to. Oh, let me put it on proper so you can really see. But it tucks in nice to where I don't have to do too much to take away from the shape of the body. Because like I've seen some other hard bodies and they'll start carving all this stuff out, going into the door frame, messing up those lines, and they end up trimming like way out here, having a super mega wheel well. And to me, it just destroys the car. So if you were gonna do that, you might as well just get a soft body. You can do what you want to with the soft body. But these, I treat this like my real truck. Like if I wouldn't grind the wheel well, cut half the door out on a real truck, I'm not doing it on this. Unless it's a competition build, which is why I appreciate my homie Dave, because he gave me this 3D printed chassis, which is dope, really customizable. I'm playing with it right now, just putting on some stock parts until the aftermarket parts get here, just to kind of see how it fits, see where the wheels sit, because I want the wheels to sit kind of outside the body, just so I ain't got to worry about, coming up to a rock, the tires will catch, pull me over. A little longer wheelbase so that I can actually get over it. Boom, boom, boom. I might try to put rear steer on it. Don't know yet, but we'll see when we get there. I'll add the parts when they come. But then if I like it, I might keep it. If I don't like it, then I'll keep building it up. And then we'll just kind of go from there, honestly. But so did that, double batteries, drive shaft, tires, knuckles, 8 grams, brass knuckles right here. So it's a lot of weight in the wheel and then in the low part of the body. It's not a whole lot of weight in the axle. The axle is aluminum. Inside is aluminum. No brass plate there. Steering wire is aluminum. So it's not crazy heavy in the axles. It's mainly tires or the wheels itself, and then I got weight in the body. Then after that, I did these high clearance links. The fronts came pretty smooth. Didn't have to worry about too much, didn't have to do too much. It fit perfectly. The rears, on the other hand, let's see. So the rears, on the other hand, different story, because with the rears, they came like that. That's what they started off looking like. They were too long for this truck. It would have pushed the rear wheels. It would have pushed these back too far. Started rubbing there again. I would have had to shave some more off. Didn't want to shave them more off. So what I ended up doing is hand bending these. And it's crazy how even I was able to make these with my, dare I say, barbaric way of doing it. I literally just took a couple pair of pliers and grabbed it in different places and just, and I'm really surprised how consistent I was with that. So kudos to me. I'm patting myself on the back. I don't care. But like I said, they started off like that, straight, and then that little bit of angle at the end. The ones on top, I don't know if you can see that. The ones on top are just straight all the way through. This is what these used to look like. Now I'm gonna show you what they look like. So, you saw what they looked like before. Now this is the after. You can see I had to do some intense bendage on those. Almost to the point to where you don't even realize that there's that kink right there. That little fold, that piece right there, that's all the way back here. And I done had to bend all of that pretty smooth. The bend kind of stops about right there. So I bent it from there all the way through to there. And got a nice consistent curve. And I did those two pieces separately. Bent those two pieces separately. Got those in there. And then the straight bars I was on top, there are no straight bars on top. It's because I curved it basically all the way through. So like from one end all the way through to the other end just to get a nice smooth bend. And the reason I did that was because I was worried about something like this happening, to where when I flex, oh, wrong side, to where when I flex, they touch. And because I bent that to get more clearance, I just knew that they would definitely be touching. So I just went on and bent that one too. And it didn't hurt anything because both of them were too long. So both of them were too long. And what I ended up doing to figure out the length is I took the stock links, which put the wheels where I wanted them. Took the stock links, 63.5. I didn't realize that this has the length on it. I wish man, if I would have known that. Man, if I would have known that, I would have known what to look for. But these are 63.5s. So these are 63.5s. Didn't know that. These are 63.5 millimeters. These are 69 millimeters. So I had to take out about 5.5 millimeters out the distance between this point and that point. And I did that by creating that bend. So adding that bend into it is what brought, so imagine it's like that, right? But bringing that bend into it is what brought them closer together so that it wouldn't push my wheels back. So this is just to show you can do whatever you want with these things. You do not have to find necessarily the right parts, but you can make the right parts. You can find a part that doesn't fit, make it fit, adjust it, do what you need to with it. Because like I said, this is like the kit. So it originally looked like that. Straight, angle, straight. And then the other ones was just straight. So the fact that these were too long, I could still use it. So I just added a bend into it. Probably helps a little bit because now it's an even higher clearance on both of them. And it brought it in, lined them up next to this one, and started off. It was about that much longer. Bent it a little bit, got a little closer. Bent it some more, got a little closer, and then made that final bend, and then boom, it's right there at the length that I wanted. And so yeah, when I say this took a lot, but it's also so much fun, I mean it. Because you can really do what you want to with these things. And I love the piece just sitting here. It's like working in the car in your garage, but your garage can be your living room. Your test track can be some random boxes you done threw together. And then you have fun with it. You go outside, you can find some rocks, find some sticks or logs or something, and just crawl over them. It's a really nice hobby, and it's brought me, I don't know how to explain it. You know, like that little kid in you, and then that kid kind of just throughout life just kind of gets quiet or shoved back just by, you know, stress of bills, stress of just having more responsibilities. and then feeling like you're drowning in responsibilities and not really able to have that fun because you either don't have money, or because you don't have time because you're working, or you don't have money because you pay bills and you need to work. But this, the RC, you can get one for anywhere between $100, $150, $160 for. This one was like 160. I think the Rubicon Jeep was probably 160. They got a Power Wagon that's probably 160. So they got a few SEX24s that are like no more than $170. Pretty sure you can get that. Might take a minute, but it's really cost effective. And then, like I said, into this truck, I put maybe like $250, $300 into this truck with all the upgrades from the batteries, the shocks. Homie of mine gave me the links, but drive shaft, motor, wheels, brass links, axles. Yeah, all outside of the car, I probably spent another $250 on aftermarket parts to upgrade it and get it where it is now, at least. But it's not $250 at one time. It was $70 for the motor and ESC. Really like between 60 and $70 for the motor and the brushless ESC. Batteries, it was a 2-pack for like $15 and it came with a charger. Wheels was, the rims were I think like $25-$30. The tires, they only come in 2-packs, which sucks. It's kind of stupid to me, but they only come in 2-packs. Each pack was probably like $20 or $30. So you spend this over time, and then honestly, when you meet other people that's into the hobby, you'll find people that will just have stuff because they don't use it no more, because they done already built their trucks up to where they want it, and so now they just got a bunch of extra parts that they not gonna use. And then you meet people and you let them know what you're doing and they give you extra parts. So it's a nice hobby. I appreciate it for my own reasons, and you can try it, you can get into it, because you can dive deep or you can stop shallow. You could buy just a base RC, and then if you're having fun with that, you can keep it that way. But if you want to, then you can add some more into it, but you don't have to. But that's the main thing. I know this video getting pretty long. I've been sitting here rambling and talking a lot, so I'm gonna just post this. I hope this finds you well. I hope you get some insight, maybe some tips and tricks that can help you out with your hard body build, that will save you from making cuts and drastic changes to the body. So please follow for more content, because I will definitely be posting more. And then if y'all have some RCs, feel free to show them off. I want to see. Like, I'm in love with these things. I'm gonna end up having a wall full of them at some point. So please share them with me. I definitely want to see the builds y'all got. Oh, my windshield wipers have the potential to work is amazing. I feel like I need a servo in there now. Just two little minis to, but anyway, y'all stay high, y'all stay fly. Wait. But y'all stay. Peace and chicken grease from the east to the west. Until next time. Peace.